Hi, and welcome back to Whitetail Acres Farm. Well, growing potatoes is normally very easy. Anybody can do it in their backyard, no matter, how big or small your backyard is. I mean, we started growing potatoes back when we were still living in a townhouse. So it's that easy. And we've always gotten an abundance of potatoes whenever we've grown them in our standard raised garden beds. Now, we heard about some different methods, and some people were raving about this method that we decided to try this year, and that's creating like a wire type of extra high raised bed, and then just making a layered lasagna of straw and some compost. And we threw in some wood chips and then throwing in some potatoes and then continuing to layer it like that. Because the idea is that by having an extra tall raised bed, you're allowing for extra room for the potatoes to grow. You can get more potatoes with it. Well, we decided to try that. We want to see if this method really works. And I'll have to admit, we didn't keep up with it as we should have. We put a few layers down and then, life just got busy, so we didn't put as many layers as we should have. So now when we went to go dig the potatoes, we did get, a decent amount, but nothing like we've gotten in the past. We've always been able to get an entire year's worth of potatoes in one harvest, and we certainly did not do that in this harvest. It was pretty hard to try to find the potatoes to begin with because I think we ended up using a little bit more of the compost than we should have. In hindsight, we probably should have put a lot more straw than we did. So I think just the different layers that we added just compacted down too much, and then it was really difficult to try to dig out these potatoes. So after a while, we enlisted Ryan's help, and then he decided to get the loader at the bucket, and he scooped up the pile for us and gently shook it down so that way it can loosen up all of that mix of soil and hay and everything else that was in there, and that way we can more easily find the potatoes, and that really did seem to help. So we went ahead and used his help to get the rest of the potatoes dug, and that made it just so much easier and faster. We brought the potatoes inside, got them all cleaned up and in a bowl. And the way we like to preserve our potatoes is by pressure canning them and putting them in quart jars. They just stay shelf stable a lot longer, and we just enjoy using them that way. So we boiled them for a while to get them soft, and then we filled them in the jars, added some boiling water to those jars before we, put the lids and rings on and pressure canned it. And one reason why we like to pressure can the potatoes instead is because it just makes it so much easier when you go to use the potatoes for meals, down the road. So, figure you have a busy day and you want to add some potatoes, maybe roasted potatoes for dinner, which is something we really enjoy doing. All you have to do in this method is take a couple quarts off of the shelf, drain out the water, put them in, a baking dish with whatever seasonings that you want, and it's pretty much ready to go. The potatoes are already pre-softened, they're already cleaned, you don't have to worry about doing any of that. So that's why we like doing it. And it was a beautiful day outside when we did this, so we decided to set up the canners on our gas mobile stove, if you will. It's what we usually use when we go camping. Set that up on the porch. Got to watch Ryan and Logan, cleaning out the hedgerow. Logan saw this tree and it's beautiful, and he wanted to make it his climbing tree. So they cleared out some of the brush around it, and Logan is really enjoying himself on there. Well, before I knew it, the pressure canner was done. I took all the jars out. I have them sitting on the counter now to rest overnight. Tomorrow, I'll take the rings off, clean up the jars, and put them on the shelf. And that is it. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you spending your time with us, and we will see you on the next one.